chiraq. Some legacies ain't built on no blueprints or bricks. They forged in that hot lead and passed down through the bloodline. On 4M, it's been that way since the jump. Hood Edition, 100. From the early 90s to right now, the South Side been gridlocked in a war where the faces changed, but them zip codes, they stay the exact same. For the guys in 8 Tray, that price for claiming the 5 been settled in blood. Merchant. We talking old heads getting walked down on their own porch, and shorties getting erased before they even old enough to hey at a voting booth. It's eerie, man. Fathers and sons meeting the same grim end at the exact same age. Brothers getting sneaked in the same alleys they used to play tag in. From Auburn Gresham to Englewood, the retaliation just keeps spinning like a carousel. From the 90s legends to the fresh faces on today's murals, that list just keep getting longer. Who does that? How we let the streets get this hungry? This about that loyalty, them backdoor traps, and a set that's still standing on a foundation built on the names of the dead. This is 8 Tray, the real deal price of the streets. Merchant. October 12, 1993, West Lawn. It was supposed to be a regular Tuesday morning, but it turned into a nightmare that would haunt a family for decades. Around 9:30 a.m. on Southwestern Avenue, you had 21-year-old Christopher Keys. The guys knew him as Lupe from 8 Tray. Shorty steps into his gray Chevy, just trying to go about his day, having no clue he was getting spied on by detectives. Now, this where it gets sticky. 12 claimed Lupe tried to use the car as a weapon and pinned an officer, but the family, they say it was a cover-up. They say that car barely even moved from the curb before them detectives unleashed a hail of lead through the windshield. Lupe caught multiple shots to the chest and was gone just like that. And the craziest part, 12 ended up admitting later that Lupe wasn't even the man they was looking for. Bogus, straight bogus, merchant. But check the energy on this. Fast forward 22 years later, Lupe's son, Chief Beefy, is out here repping the same 5, walking the same path, and in a chilling twist of fate that'll give you goosebumps, Beefy gets sneaked and loses his life at the exact same age as his pops, 21 years old. Now who does that? 2 generations, same age, same violent end. It's like the cycle was just waiting for him to hit that number. Real deal tragedy. Merchant. May 16th, 2013, Auburn Gresham. The night air on the 8600 block of South Ashlin was shattered by a wicked ambush right before 9 p.m. You had 15-year-old Marquis Thompson, the guys called him Marquis from 8 Tray, just walking down the street when a 3-man hit squad stepped on him. They didn't come to talk. They came with lethal intent, unleashing a barrage of lead that caught the shorty in his head. Marquis was rushed over to Advocate Christ, but the damage was already done. He was gone before he could even really start living. And get this, shorty was only 1 year out from his 8th grade graduation. 1 year. His whole future was erased right in the heart of Smashville. The shooters dipped on foot, vanishing into the west side streets before 12 could even spin the block. No arrests, no justice, just another open case for the detectives and another mural for a kid who should have been in a classroom instead of a casket. Bogus. A graduation picture turned into a funeral program. That's the real deal tax you paying Gresham. April 24th, 2014, Auburn Gresham. Routine vibes on the 900 block of West 83rd got shot at 6:26 p.m. You had 22-year-old Darius Kelly, the guys called him Gucci from 8 Tray, just posted on the block when a van cut through the street with bad intentions. As that vehicle pulled up alongside him, it wasn't no talking. Multiple gunmen inside unleashed a heavy barrage of lead in a coordinated drive-by. Gucci caught several shots and collapsed right there on the pavement as the van peeled off, vanishing into them Auburn Gresham streets. Response was fast, but it didn't even matter. Gucci was pronounced right there at 6:50 p.m. Another targeted execution, in the neighborhood where the friction never stops. And you already know how it go. No charges, no suspects. Them shooters still in the wind, and 12 is still searching for a vehicle that's probably been long gone. June 1st, 2014, South Chicago. Everything was quiet on the 2600 block of East 83rd until the streetlights caught a hit in real time. Around 10:15 p.m., you had D'Angelo Russell. The guys called him Alaski. Shorty was heavy in the paint, repping Quet Gang, 358, and 8 Tray. He was just walking with his homie, probably thinking the night was over, but the shadows had different plans. Out of nowhere, a shooter stepped out the dark and walked him down. No drive-by, no spraying from a distance. This was face to face. Alaski caught him all through his lower half and his arm. He collapsed right there while the shooter vanished back into the abyss. They rushed him to Advocate Christ, but Alaski's clock had already run out. Now check this. His homie was standing right there and didn't catch a single scratch. That's that eerie street luck, man. One man goes to the morgue, the other walks home. And you already know the routine. Shooter dipped, no witnesses talking, and 12 is left looking at a cold pavement wondering what happened. Just another general erased from the map, another name added to that never-ending 8 Tray tab. August 24th, 2014, Auburn Gresham. The energy at the lounge on the 8300 block of South Halstead was at a peak. We talking nearly 300 people posted up, vibing in the early morning hours, having no clue the night was about to turn into a bloodbath. At 2:35 a.m., a light-colored whip crept up slow. Then the windows dropped and a gunman started spraying lead like it was water. James McCoy, the guys knew him as Juicy or Juice from 8-3, was right in the line of fire. A heater caught him flush in the chest. They rushed him over to Advocate Christ, but the damage was done. Juice checked out, leaving the set without one of them realest veterans. But look, this wasn't no precision hit, it was a massacre. 3 other grown men caught shells too, dudes in their 30s and 40s getting leaked in the middle of a party. And check the bogus part, 12 had already been out there twice that night for noise complaints. They was right around the corner, but the shooter still had the audacity to let it fly and vanish into the abyss before a single siren could even wail. Nobody in the cage, no witnesses talking, just another high-profile hit where the shooter stayed in the wind and 8-3 was left to pour out liquor for a fallen soldier. December 17, 2015, Auburn Gresham. The afternoon quiet on the 8300 block of South Ada got ripped apart at 4:30 p.m. when the cycle came back to collect. We talking about 21-year-old Christopher Keys Jr. The streets knew him as Chief Beefy, a meathead from 8-3. He was found slumped and unresponsive inside a whip, his body riddled with lead. They rushed him to Advocate Christ, but it was already written. He was pronounced at 5:15 p.m. Now check the eerie energy on this. Beefy met his end at the exact same age as his pops, Lupe, who was taken off the board by 12, 22 years before. Both of them gone at 21. The shooter vanished from that residential block before the first sirens could even scream, leaving a family to mourn a father and a son whose stories ended on the same page at the same age. No arrests, no justice, just another cold case left for the detectives to flip through while the shooters stay in the wind. How does that even happen? 2 generations, same age, same violent finish. It's like the streets was just waiting for him to hit that number. Bogus. A bloodline trapped in a loop. That's the real deal price of repping on Ada. April 2nd, 2017, Auburn Gresham. The midday quiet on the 8200 block of South Ada got ripped open at 12:30 p.m. You had 20-year-old Courtney Lewis, the guys called him Make a Messer from 8 Tray, posted in a whip with 3 of his homies. Out of nowhere, a gunman stepped up and started dumping lead into the car. The driver stomped on the gas trying to fly out of there and save everybody, but the damage was already done. It wasn't until they hit 84th and Aberdeen that the reality set in. 2 of them had been caught. Messer took 2 heaters to the back. They rushed him to Christ Medical, but he checked out at 1:15 p.m. A 19-year-old homie in the car caught it in the back too and was left fighting for his life. This went down right in the heart of Foster Park territory, a place where the lines are etched in blood. But check this, unlike most hits, 12 actually caught a break on this one. They grabbed a dude named Curtis Connor and pinned a murder on him. Messer was young, but out here, age don't get you a discount on the price. Just another high-stakes hit that left A-Tray pouring out more liquor. May 9th, 2017, Pill Hill. The 9200 block of South Chappelle was usually quiet, but just after 10 p.m., that silence got shattered by the cold sound of a revolver. 34-year-old Jesse Woods III, the streets knew him as J Murder from 8-Tray, was walking near Warren Elementary when the night turned into a trap. A witness said they heard one single shot, then pause, then the rest of the clip. When neighbors ran out, they found J Murder laying on the front lawn fighting for his last breaths. He had been walked down, executed at close range with shots to the head and back. Now check the bogus factor. Before the shots rang out, people saw a dude in dark clothes lurking in the shadows, pretending to be on his phone, a silent predator just waiting for J Murder to step into the light. Jay lived miles away on Carpenter. He was caught lacking far from home base in a neighborhood that used to be a sanctuary. The shooter vanished into the dark, leaving no shells and no witnesses. No arrests, just another name added to the grim history of a block that thought it was safe.
July 6, 2017, Auburn Gresham. The evening sun didn't offer no cover on the 8200 block of South Carpenter when the violence hit front and center. Around 6:10 p.m., you had 30-year-old Jonathan Halbert. The streets knew him as Gotti John from 83. He was just standing in his own driveway, literally steps from his front door. In a move of absolute recklessness, two gunmen popped out of a nearby alley and just started dumping lead while children were playing just yards away. John caught heaters to his shoulders and legs. His family thinks it was a case of mistaken identity, just a stray hit meant for somebody else. They rushed him to Christ Medical, but he checked out at 6:49 p.m. John was a father, a graduate of Carver High, and was actually engaged to be married. All that future stolen right on the pavement he called home. The shooters dipped back into the same alley they crawled out of and vanished. No suspects, no in the cage. Just another veteran lost in a neighborhood left in shock. October 19th, 2017, Ford Heights, Illinois. The night took a lethal turn in the south suburbs around 10 p.m. near 15th and Lexington. You had 18-year-old Shaka Bills, known to the guys as CJ. Shorty was repping Mono World, 8-3 and TMG, and he got targeted in a sudden attack that didn't give him a chance to move. CJ was caught in the back by gunfire. They rushed him to St. James Hospital in a desperate attempt to keep him here, but the streets had already claimed him. He was pronounced at 10:44 p.m. At just 18 years old, CJ became another young name on that list of fallen soldiers, showing that the friction in the city follows you all the way to the suburbs. The shooter vanished into the Ford Heights night before the sheriff's office could even secure the block. No suspects, no motive, just another life erased before it even really started.
April 7, 2020, Auburn Gresham. The night air on the 8000 block of South Carpenter turned deadly around 8:30 p.m. It started with echoes of gunfire and ended with a chase. Officers tried to pull over a vehicle, sparking a brief pursuit that came to a sudden halt. Two people inside bailed immediately, vanishing into the shadows of the south side streets and leaving 12 behind. But the real tragedy was waiting in the front seat. 18-year-old Morris Jones, the guys called him AJ from 8-Tray. He was found unresponsive with a catastrophic wound to the head. He was pronounced right there at the scene. At just 18 years old, AJ's story was cut short in a chaotic sequence that left more questions than answers. While his companions managed to evade the law, AJ became another young name on the list of lives lost in the heart of the block. No arrests, and the shooters stay in the wind. May 4th, 2020, Auburn Gresham. The evening quiet on the 8500 block of South Sagamine got shattered around 9:30 p.m. 21-year-old Damon Horde Jr., the The streets knew him as Blizz from 8 Trey. He was posted on a porch with a homie when a vehicle pulled up and someone inside unleashed a hail of gunfire. Blizz caught heaters to his head and neck in a targeted ambush. They rushed him to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was too deep to survive. He was pronounced shortly after arrival. A 22-year-old man standing right next to him was lucky. He walked away with just a graze to his chest. The shooter sped away from the residential block and remains at large today. The loss of Blizz was a heavy blow to the 8 Trey circle, happening during one of the most violent stretches the neighborhood had ever seen. August 5th, 2020, Auburn, Gresham. The night air at the gas station on the 8200 block of South Halstead turned lethal around 9:15 p.m. 33-year-old Mark II Mack, the guys called him Mr. 24 Keys from 8 Trey. He was standing outside when a dark-colored minivan cut through the darkness, and an occupant from the van started dumping shots, sending everyone nearby scattering for cover. In a desperate move to stay alive, Keys ran inside the gas station and collapsed on the floor. At first, the police didn't even think he had been hit, but a fatal shot to the arm had already done the work. He was rushed to the USC, but he didn't survive the night. A 28-year-old woman was also grazed in the thigh during the chaos. The minivan peeled off immediately, leaving the neighborhood in shock and the set mourning a veteran. While some on the streets linked the hit to the ongoing friction with 800, the shooters officially remain in the wind. No arrests, and the investigation continues.
April 17th, 2022, Auburn, Gresham. The pre-dawn hours on the 8400 block of South Aberdeen became the final stage for one of the biggest names in the drill scene. Around 2:20 a.m., you had 27-year-old Tyrone Pittman, known to the world as Johnny May Cash. He was a heavyweight repping 8-3 and the brother of the legend Young Chop. But his end didn't come from a rival set. It came from a domestic situation that turned lethal. ShotSpotter picked up a barrage of gunfire outside a bungalow-style crib. Cash was hit in the thigh and rushed to the hospital in Evergreen Park, but he didn't make it. In a twist that gripped the whole city, the shooter wasn't a masked man, it was his own girl, Brianna Gibbs. The courtroom drama revealed a toxic cycle. Gibbs claimed Cash had put hands on her that night, pulling out her hair before she grabbed a pipe and let it fly as he stepped onto the porch. She was grabbed 6 hours later in Bronzeville. While the law calls it murder, her team called it self-defense. The loss sent shockwaves through the 8-3 circle and the global drill community. A veteran artist gone in a heartbeat. July 30th, 2022, Logan Square. The early morning hours on the 1800 block of North Milwaukee Avenue got shattered at 1:40 a.m. You had 31-year-old Eric Nolan, just Eric to the guys from 8-3. He was posted up on the sidewalk in Logan Square, a trendy area far from the south side, when a whip pulled up slow. Without a word, someone inside let the lid fly. Eric caught it flush in the chest and collapsed right there as the vehicle peeled off into the night. They rushed him to Illinois Masonic, but the wound was fatal. Now, even in a high-visibility spot like Logan Square, the shooters vanished like ghosts before 12 could seal the block. It's another case of a veteran member taken out far from his home base. No arrests, no suspects, just another name in the wind while detectives hunt for a grain of footage. August 4th, 2022, Roseland. The 10,400 block of Emerald saw a brutal and calculated execution around 8 p.m. 35-year-old James Walter, known as Lil James, repping 8-3 in Buff City. He was sitting in a parked whip with a lady when a dark sedan pulled alongside him and let a heavy barrage go. James caught it multiple times in the torso and arm and checked out at the hospital. Now, the police report says drive-by, but the word on the street whispers a much darker story. The streets say this was a backdoor setup. Word is Lil James was lured to that spot through a rideshare app by people he thought was his people. Once he touched down, he was allegedly ambushed, hit with a bat, and kidnapped.
They say they took him to an alley and unleashed an overkill of 13 shots, hitting him everywhere from his face to his chest. This was a cold-blooded hit that left 8-3 in Buff City reeling. The shooters vanished into the Roseland night, leaving no trace. A veteran figure taken off the board in the worst way possible.
April 12, 2023, Auburn, Gresham. The afternoon quiet on the 100 block of West 86th Street got ripped apart by another targeted hit in the heart of the South Side. Around midday, 29-year-old Sean Stone, the streets knew him as Shot Stone from A-Tray, got caught in a deadly encounter that left him slumped. The details from the scene are still tight, but the result is a story the block knows too well. Shot Stone was caught by gunfire and pronounced right there, marking a heavy loss for the A-Tray circle as another veteran was taken off the board. The shooter vanished from that residential stretch before the first sirens could even echo through the neighborhood, leaving behind nothing but spent shells and a family in mourning. No arrest, and the motive is still a mystery. A broad daylight execution with a Lee's eyes cold as the pavement. May 13, 2023, Greater Grand Crossing. Saturday night energy on the 6400 block of South King Drive took a lethal turn when shots rang out in one of the city's most volatile corridors. Around 10 p.m., 17-year-old Clarence Baldwin, the guys called him Little Bam from A-Tray, was posted outside with a 16-year-old homie when the shadows turned violent. This was a sudden ambush right in the heart of O-Block territory. Lil Bam caught a heater to the chest as the lead started flying. They rushed him to the USC, but the damage was too much for the shorty to overcome. He checked out shortly after arrival. The 16-year-old homie was lucky. He walked away with just a wound to the arm. This was the second big hit for the circle in 2023, claiming a young life in a zone where the rivalries are ancient and the margin for survival is razor thin. The shooters vanished into the Parkway Gardens complex before 12 could even spin the block. Still no one in the cage. September 24th, 2023, Englewood. The Sunday morning quiet on the 5500 block of South Union was violently interrupted at 10:35 a.m. and a brazen daylight ambush. 24-year-old Kentrail Williams, known to the streets as Lil Top or Trap from A-Tray, was sitting inside a parked whip when the block turned lethal. A gray vehicle pulled alongside him and two suspects hopped out with cold intentions. They unleashed a heavy barrage and overkill of shots that left Trap with no chance to even react. He was caught multiple times and pronounced right there on the scene. Another veteran loss for A-Tray right in the heart of Englewood. The two gunmen hopped back in that gray whip and sped away, disappearing into the neighborhood before the first units could even spin the block. No one in custody, and the shooters stay in the wind after a clinical execution.
From the early days of the South Side to the high-stakes friction of the drill era, the story of 83 is written in more than just territory. It's written in the names we just covered. Legends like Lupe, veterans like Juice and Lil James, and shorties like Lil Bam who never even got to see the finish line. This ain't just a list of stats or a police report. This is the real deal tax of the rack. We seen bloodlines like the Keys family hit with the same tragedy decades apart, and we seen veterans caught lacking far from home base. It's a cycle that spins faster than the wheels on a getaway car, leaving behind murals and memories on every corner from Auburn, Gresham to Englewood. But as long as these blocks are standing, these stories gotta be told so the names don't just wash away with the rain on the concrete. Respect the history, watch its surroundings, and keep it locked right here for the realest breakdown in the city. Hood Edition, 100, Merchant.